welcome. Today I'd like to do a book review. This is Mark Chandaue. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Let me go ahead and look that because he actually addresses it here in the book. Here it is, page 17. He says it's pronounced Chandaue. Chandaue. Mark Chandaue, Harpacrown. Folks, if anyone out there watching this video knows what this word means, please put it down below in the comments. Harpacrown. I Googled it. I searched for it. I broke it down. I thought, well, maybe the word is harpa. Maybe it's two words, Harpacrown. So I looked up this word. This word's actually a word, but it has nothing to do, as far as I can tell. So I don't know where he got the name of the book. Yeah, maybe he explained it in the book. As you can see, I highlight my books heavily. I make notes in the table of contents. I'm bringing this book to you not so much for the magic in it as the essays. Anymore, when I buy a book, when I buy a magic book with magic in it, I really want more than the magic tricks. I'm at a point in my career where it's very rare. It's very rare for me to read a magic book with magic tricks in it and come away with a trick that I want to do. It's just rare because my act is settled, my character is settled, I know who I am, I know what I like, I know the kind of magic that I do, and it's very rare for me to find something that really fits. So most of the stuff that I do, I'm inventing myself. I mean, my act isn't completely original, but I'm just at a place where that's kind of the way it is. But there are some really great gems in here that I want to call your attention to. I'm going to look at the table. First of all, his father was a magician by the name of Ross Chandaue. And well, Chandaue, by the way, is a stage name. It's not their real name, it's a stage name. But here he does, on page 20, and page 27, he presents the story of his father. And let me tell you something right now. If you ever feel sorry for yourself, you need to pick this book up and you need to read this chapter on this man's father. Once you read this chapter, you will not feel sorry for yourself. I have never read anywhere or heard anywhere a story so heart-wrenching and so difficult to read as the story of this man's father. My heart bled. My heart was broken when I read this story. This man loved his family. This man was devoted to his family. This man loved magic. He gave that love to his child, Mark, who has carried the torch forward, but he suffered greatly. He suffered one injury or illness after another, and he died long before his time. But he instilled in Mark a passion for magic, which Mark has given us in this book. So that's the first thing that I want to recommend to you. The second thing, some of the other essays in here. He has an essay on going pro. And let me just share with you some thoughts from that essay. Going pro. He says, performing is a very small part of the job. 70% of what you do will be sales. 20% will be performing, and 10% will be debt collecting. Your success is dependent on your ability to sell yourself and your act rather than on your ability to perform. And then he goes on to talk about the difficulty and challenge of making your living as a performer. And it is difficult and it is challenging. And I found that chapter to be worth the price of the book. So I highly recommend that to you. And then he does a chapter called Respecting the Art, which I thought was fantastic as well. He says on page 161, the difference between a magician and someone that just does tricks can be defined by a single ingredient, a healthy respect for the art. If you respect your art, you're not going to go exposing secrets on YouTube. If you respect your art, you'll respect other artists. If you respect your art, you'll do the very best you can for your audiences. So I just found that essay to be wonderful. This book is filled, he's a mentalist, by the way. If you're wondering what kind of magic does he do, he's a mentalist. And so the book is full of generally principles that have been mulled over before. And he says as much. And when he shares a magical secret, he does a complete history of where it came from. One of the things that I thought was excellent in this book, he provides a history of the out to lunch principle. Out to lunch principle was taught in the Mark Wilson course, and it is much, much older than that. I think it originates back in the 1940s. But he does a history of that, which I thought was wonderful. And then he presents, I think, 3 or 4 tricks based on the out to lunch principle. He has an essay called Making Sense of It All, which deals with properly motivating your actions, making sure that every action and every move is justified. He has a chapter called Scrap It Principle, which provides motivation for the center tear. So if you're doing center tears and you've always wondered, why am I tearing up the paper? Why does it make sense to have a spectator write something and then tear it up? He provides an excellent motivation for that. So the book is filled with wonderful essays and wonderful magic. I can't recommend it more highly. Harpacrown by Mark Chandaue. Check it out. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below. Please comment. I love your comments. I will see you next time.